In the name of greatest consciousness in the world. My name is Gabriel Morton, and I present you very important speech, and that is about the necessity of the existence of Jesus if we believe that we can go beyond the solar system. We have to accept greatest consciousness. So if you are a Christian, and you know a lot of Christians live in different places of the world, and these Christians believe that Jesus is with them and can hear their voice when they pray. Jesus answers them and support them, and I agree with them because I believe to them. However, I am a Muslim, but I believe they are right about Jesus. Now, you suppose some people live in America, some people live in Russia, and many people in different parts on earth. They believe that Jesus is with them and hear their voice. That means that if we use physical rules, Jesus has consciousness, and this consciousness can make field and wave. So this wave is a jump immediately to everybody who call Jesus. So everybody who believe in Jesus believe to this great consciousness, and this consciousness in every place with any believer to Jesus, and this consciousness give peaceful condition to the believer of the Jesus, especially push them into front to do right things. For example, a Christian a true Christian cannot be cruel against the other human being. So if we see nowadays the best countries for living, they are Christians, and people are more kind and hospitable than other nations and other countries with different religion. That is because Jesus is their mind and in their consciousness, and push them into front to do the right things, to be kind about each other, especially about the strangers, even from other nation, other religion. So that is the privilege of Jesus. But what is Jesus in Gabrielism philosophy? In the Gabrielism philosophy, Jesus is expanding. Jesus is expanding consciousness. And consciousness of Jesus is expanding to go from different dimensions. For example, now Jesus is a nine-dimensional being in the philosophy of the Gabrielism that I am trying to explain. This can explain all of the problems in the physics, in the metaphysics, in the philosophy, and answer for us everything. Nine-dimensional being, conscious being, Jesus now, but Jesus gonna to be more expanded day by day, and I will say why. When the number of the Christians increase, the consciousness of Jesus will increase. In the philosophy of the Gabrielism, and Jesus gonna to be big and big, more big and big, and contain more dimensions. Soonly, Jesus will be 10-dimensional being. Okay, so that is necessary for Jesus that expound in every places in the cosmos and become day by day more great and huge consciousness. And I believe that, and I am trying to explain by philosophy of the Gabrielism. So this non-dimensional conscious being contain a great and huge places and spaces in the cosmos. So galaxies based on philosophy of the Gabrielism, they are inside the body of Jesus, and we, as a member of these galaxies, and as a living being inside one of these galaxies, we must invent device to measure this consciousness. But Jesus will inform us about the other beings that probably live in other galaxies, and we call them aliens. The important things I am trying to say, the distance between these galaxies would be, for example, we want to just give, we don't want to give you some exercise scientific things, just want to give you something for imagination. You suppose the distance of these galaxies between themselves is at some average distance is 1 million light years. 1 million light years between every these galaxies. But Jesus at the same time is aware about them and conscious about these beings who live in different galaxies. So we can say that the consciousness of Jesus is more quick than the speed of the light, because for these galaxies, if they want to communicate with each other, they have to obey the rules of the physics, and rules of the physics dictate us that is not possible to communication between two galaxies sooner than 1 million years because of the limitation of the speed of the light. But time is for for observer inside the galaxy is so much slow. For Jesus, time is quick, and I want to I have formula that describe very detailedly if we accept there is some Jesus in the world, that is obvious for me that exists. Jesus and consciousness exists in the world, but for you, as a stranger or believer or non-believer to Jesus, we have to prove this, and if we prove this, we can build soonly a spacecraft and go further than solar system. Time is so much. Time for Jesus is near to be constant. And if Jesus look at his watch hand, in the few seconds pass for Jesus, billion of the years pass between the galaxies that inside the consciousness of the Jesus. I want to try to explain very, very simply something that is very, very difficult to explain about the relativity of the time. So time in each galaxy is different, and I have calculation that can show you the time for other observers who live probably in other planets, as aliens who live in other galaxies, how quick time is for them, and how quick time is for Jesus, and Jesus is the eye of the God. And in the philosophy of the Gabriel, this is the eye of the God, and total this great consciousness is very great. Eye, and this is the eye of the God who watch all of the galaxies at the same time, and we have a special relativity to explain for this very, very huge eye that is the most natural James Webb telescope, natural telescope that was before the human being. This great eye, or great consciousness, or great Jesus, we want to explain about that, and how we can scientifically using the device that make it accessible, the consciousness of Jesus for every one of us. And that is the evolutionizing, that would be a great evolution in science and technology. And anybody, even access to my theory, quickly can make these devices. And any country who access to this theory that discovered by me, and I take also the knowledge of other beings who live in other planets, and I am not joking, and I am not crazy. And later we will describe about the hidden space-times, and how some people can use this hidden space-time and can receive alien frequencies from other planets. We will talk about that. Maybe I sometimes write something like the Terminator screenplay. And in this screenplay, I talk about the quantum bodies and the difference between the quantum bodies with ordinary three-dimensional bodies who live on Earth. So I want to say that is too much to explain, and if I want to explain every day 1 hour, 2 hours about my total philosophy, after 10 years will be over, and that would be a little people who understand about that. That is sophisticated, but I am not cheater, and will be proven later. Maybe today I stop and think to find a quicker way to send my information and make it more simplified for everybody. So have a nice time, and thank you, and goodbye every year. Support us by sending